Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Make yourself feel at home. So today I'm feeling bodycon. Okay, today the mood is bodycon. I love me a good bodycon dress. And yes, summer's almost over, but you don't have to be so negative. We can wear the bodycons all day, every day. Today's shirt is this beautiful forest green t-shirt. It's in a size double XL. Yeah, so it's a double XL. I think this will be enough to give me what I need. So yeah, let's turn the t-shirt inside out because that's the energy I need today. So here's my t-shirt laid flat, and I want to use a dress as a template. If you do not have a dress that you love the fit of already, you should, by the way. I mean, do you even wear dresses? But if you don't have a dress for some reason, I'm not judging you, you can use a top and a skirt. And if you don't have that, I do not know how to help you, Caroline, okay? So just find something that you like the fit of. I'm going to use my tried and tested. I have this bodycon dress. I picked this up a few years ago and she's been coming in clutch for my DIYs. I use this as a template for all my bodycon dresses because I just love how it fits. Just lay this as flat as possible. So once the dress is dressing, I'm going to tuck in the arms. I don't need arms for this dress. So now I will outline my shape. I don't usually leave a seam allowance when I'm doing the bodycon dresses because I love a tight fit. That's what he said. But if you want a bit of wiggle room for your dress, make sure you just leave a bit of a seam allowance. Once the shape is outlined, I will get rid of the bodycon dress. I will keep her close though, because I do love this dress so much. I will now pin the dress together because I don't want problems in my relationships. I don't want her to think she is in charge of me. So I will pin this, and I'm pinning inside the lines. That way cutting this is going to be such an easy process. My fabric is now pinned together and I'm going to cut out this template. Now I'm going to make the tube part at the top. This neckline bit, I'm going to draw a straight line right here and cut the excess out. Now we need to make the squareness at the top, and this needs some finessing. I'm basically measuring the width between my bra straps, and that is 11 inches. I'm going to find the midpoint of this piece of fabric. So this is about 13 inches. So I'm going to mark the midpoint, 6.5 inches right there. I'm going to mark 5.5 inches on each side from the midpoint. So this is just my chest measurement divided by 2. So whatever your measurement is, you go with that. And then I will go down 2 inches. So that's my 2 inches right there. And on the other side, 2 inches. So I'll draw a straight line from the 2-inch mark going outwards. And I will do the same for this side. This side is definitely smaller, but it's okay. It's fine. I will now connect this dot to the end of this line. So let me remove this pin. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just going to help you attach your sleeves later on. And I will then cut out the excess fabric. So you can see the shape at the top now has a bit of a diagonal situation right here going on, and that's what you want because it will make attaching your sleeves much easier and you'll get that beautiful square neckline. So I'm going to set this aside for now and work on the sleeves because this dress is being a bit intense and she needs to calm down. So I'm going to put her aside, let her work through her issues in therapy, and work on the sleeves in the meantime. So let's pull out the big guns. I'm not going to cut out the sleeves. sleeve is looking weird, but let's open her up and see what she's bringing to the table in this relationship. I'm going to mark the inside of the sleeve just in case I forget, because usually I just get the sides confused. You don't have to do this. And I'm going to straighten off the edge because I cut it quite haphazardly. That sleeve has been through it, girl. She's looking rough, but it's fine. We'll fix her. So I'm going to do the same exact thing with the next sleeve. That way we have 2 sleeves, not 4, 2. If you have 5 hands, make sure you cut out 5 sleeves. We are inclusive on this channel. We do not discriminate people who have a lot of shoulders, and arms. So if you have 5 arms, maybe you need to see a doctor, but make sure you cut out 5 sleeves. We've now got our 2 sleeves. They might look different, but they're trying their best. So don't judge them, Caroline. I will work with them as they come. I'm now going to create a casing that will be around the shoulders. And to do this, I'm going to fold in the fabric once and just pin all around. And I'm going to make sure the gap is big enough to allow for my elastic to go through. So I'm going to do that to both sleeves, and this is super easy. No formula to it, just do what your gut tells you to do, especially if it's telling you to cut off your toxic ex. You need to listen to your gut, baby. I am just going to fold in the top of the fabric, and I will just go with my gut here. I am not listening to any logic. I'm just going to go with my gut. So I'm going to pin that all around. As you can see, the fabric is now pinned along this edge, and I'm going to repeat the same on the other sleeve. That way we have 2 sleeves. Remember, if you have 5 sleeves, 5 times is how many times you're going to do this. I do not envy you. So I'm going to repeat this with my second sleeve and we'll be good to go. Our sleeves are now done. I'm going to sew along this bottom edge right here and this bottom edge right here, and we will be good to go. I'm going to use an elastic straight stitch because she allows for stretch, but she is straight. If you don't have an elastic straight stitch on your machine, just use a zigzag stitch. It's honestly the same thing. Can now see the top edge is stitched down. She is down for the count. She ain't gonna be talking no more. You just snip, snip that snitch, okay? So now she is sewn down, and this is what we wanted. And I'm going to measure a piece of elastic. So I will find elastic. So I have a lot of elastic, unlike Patience. I'm going to now measure, I wish I had someone to help me do this, actually. Why is this so difficult? Okay, I found it. So I'm going to measure from the end of my bra strap over here. So I'm going to hold that taut and really pull it so that it can gather the fabric, and I'm going to come to the front. So I'm going to make sure that feels comfortable. I can move my shoulders. So that feels okay. Oops, ouch. So this is the length of elastic I will be needing. I'm going to cut it off. Using a tiny safety pin, I'm going to feed the elastic through the casing. So what I did is at the end, I just used a zigzag stitch right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a zigzag stitch, and this will attach your elastic to your fabric. The elastic at the shoulder is done, and now it's time to sort the elastic at your lower armpit. So this bit is going to have elastic as well. So I'm just going to measure this using a piece of elastic. I'll make sure it's a bit tight, but not too tight that you can't have circulation. So just tight enough for it to be snug on your body. And I'm going to cut that off. I've now got 2 pieces of elastic, and this is what we're going to feed into the bottom casing of each sleeve. Your t-shirt will naturally have a casing at the bottom, so we're going to take advantage of this and just feed the elastic through this bit. Once the safety pin comes out, voila, you're going to pin that end to the fabric as well, that way it doesn't escape, and shoosh the fabric so that it's evenly gathered. And you're basically done with your sleeve. So you're going to do the same thing you did for the top edge, just sew a zigzag stitch at the ends of the elastic to make sure that the elastic stays put and doesn't disrespect you and your ancestors. Now you have 2 sleeves, and once you sew the ends of the elastic to your fabric, you can consider your sleeve work done for the day. Remember the dress we'd abandoned? Now it's time to bring her back out. Talk to her nice because we need to finesse her. To hem the top of the fabric, you will do this at both the back and the front of your fabric. I will take one edge and I will fold in the fabric once, and then I'll fold it in again and do a straight stitch all along. I find that pinning the fabric makes sure that I'm on the right track in life and I'm not so lost. So I'm going to just quickly pin the fabric. Pinned the top of the fabric and also the back of the fabric as well, as you can see. And I'm now going to sew an elastic straight stitch along this edge and along the back edge as well. And this will make sure that our fabric stays in place. If you don't have an elastic straight stitch, just use a straight stitch. Do not use a zigzag stitch at this point because it will give you a lettuce hem kind of effect, and that's not what you need right now. So use a straight stitch if your sewing machine does not have the elastic straight stitch. So I'm going to now attach them to my dress. So I will tilt this. To attach a sleeve, I'm going to take my sleeve. This is the wrong side up, and make sure your bottom edge is facing downwards. So I'm going to just flip this over, and you know the bottom edge because we have the hemming of the original t-shirt. So I'm going to take this and pin this to that diagonal bit. So you see we have a bit of a diagonal. You're going to end where the line ends. So taking your sleeve, you're going to join the ends together to the fabric of the dress, and you're going to pin that piece of fabric right there. So that's one pin, and pin where the line ends. So you're going to sew a zigzag stitch along here, and this will attach one edge of your sleeve to your dress. And doing the same thing for the back, just flip that. So attach it right sides kissing. So basically the wrong side is out. Pin them together. And I will see where my diagonal fabric ends, and I will just lay my fabric flat. For the back, I will also sew along that edge. So you're going to sew along here, and the back bits as well along here and along here. Once that's done, your sleeves will be attached to the dress, and then we will be almost done. So this is the sewed bit. Basically, the sleeve is now attached to the dress. That's what we wanted to do. Now it's time to finish up the dress. Yay, we're finally here. I'm going to pin the underarms. Even though it's honestly negligible fabric, we still have to sew it down. What I mean by negligible fabric, you can see this bit right here. This is supposed to be like the underarm, basically. I think I will be suffocating. My armpits will be crying, but at least I'll look smoking hot. So I'm going to pin that bit of fabric, no matter how small. I am going to sew it down. Taking a pin, I'm going to pin it in place, and that's that. So I will do the same thing on the other side. I will pin the underarm bits together, and that's it. We'd already pinned the rest of the dress, so we're fine. To finish off the dress, I'm going to sew right here, turn my fabric around, continue going down, and this will seal this side of the dress. And for this side, I'll do the same thing. So over here, turn my fabric around and then sew down to seal that end of the dress. So we're going to sew this dress, finish this off, and I am so excited. I'm so excited for this dress. You're going to use a zigzag stitch because a zigzag stitch be stitching, but she ain't snitching, okay? She has your back. So make sure you rely on the zigzag stitch. There you have it, guys. This is the dress. Clink, clink. Hello. I ate and I left absolutely no crumbs, honey. This dress is giving life. It's giving sexy. It's giving somebody's wife, okay? It's giving amazing. It's giving figure hugging. I love the result of this dress. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I thoroughly enjoyed your company. And let's do this again sometime next week. Until then, why don't you watch some videos? I've left them there for you so you can DIY and DIY until your fingers fall off. Do you want to make another bodycon dress? Click here. Do you just want to chill? Click here. I don't know. I'm waiting.